Okay, so what's up guys? I'm not really sure what I want to name the title to be exact, but it's definitely going to be something relating to Nezuko, and I just wanted to touch upon this character because for the longest time I always thought Nezuko was pretty strong character, right? And it just took certain players to show what she's fully capable of at the highest level. And like I said, I always thought she was a strong character, but once I see how viable she was able to be used against, put into any team, she just changes the game completely. And as you guys seen my recent tier list videos, I've been placing her the second best character in the game. I still stand by that because obviously when people talk about tier lists and slayers, they never usually talk about what they provide for the team instead of looking at their toolkit in a solo aspect, because like I said, slayers never play alone, they're always playing in a team. And now that switch tech is available, now it's more meta, and that's what people need to be focusing on. And what Nezuko provides in the neutral game, it kind of dwarfs what any other slayer can do. Besides the new slayers have really good neutral skills to get in that can compete with Nezuko, but before they were in the game, Nezuko was kind of like the dominant character, and the only character that could really compete with her slayer wise was pretty much Zenitsu. The other ones would kind of get outbeat by her claws and hill bash and all her other skills and etc. So I just want to touch upon Nezuko, why she's so powerful. She has everything you can ask for what a slayer has. She has an insane lunge, a lunge that also starts her optimal combo, so she doesn't even need to use skills like the other characters to do a 50% combo. And she also has a pretty solid heavy, nothing crazy. I wouldn't say bad, it's nothing crazy, but it's definitely on the good end. She has a good grab that does good damage. The recovery on this is pretty insane. She takes 1.0, she deals a lot of damage. Claws is just kind of like a baby disorder. It beats a lot of skills and cancels if anything. Then you also have the hill bash, which the hill bash speaks for itself. It just gets in like no other skill can do. For example, if you do air type with a Kaza up close, Nezuko can pretty much jump over in hill bash. No other slayer is jumping over air type and doing a skill that's going to catch him before he can cancel in time. The hill bash hitbox is what prevents a Kaza from really compassing needle her, unless it's like a really hard read, and even then it's risky because up close her hill bash would hit him. So like I said, Nezuko can do a lot of things. The only thing that I think personally that holds her back is that she is a slayer with no projectiles, but that doesn't really matter in her case. I think to be honest, if she had a level 3 dash, that would be kind of crazy. I think her not having level 3 dash is what hold her back, and level 2 is not bad at all, and it's actually really good for slayers to have in order to fight zoning characters in the first place. And of course, I can't forget to mention the most broken thing about Nezuko in the first place, on top of her already great toolkit, is her unsubbable. A lot of people seem to get confused when she does her drop kick, which is her guard skill. Basically you can hold it to do the full animation, but if you don't and you do an ultimate right after, which only works on this Nezuko, not the Academy Nezuko by the way, it's an unsubbable. You cannot sub out of it. It's the only technically broken thing about that in the game. Now, was it intentional? No one really knows, but I feel like it's not intentional since it does start a cutscene if you hold it. So yeah, to be honest, Nezuko, with all that on top of her insane toolkit and neutral game, Nezuko is just a pretty insane character. And I just felt like all the time when I made my old videos, I felt like she should have been the slayer that got nerfed, one of the characters I wanted to be nerfed. And if she gets nerfed, obviously other characters have to be nerfed in that category. But to be honest, Nezuko is so great. I just wish that in this game they would just buff the other slayers to compete with Nezuko. I feel like that would be fair because a lot of characters really can't, and I feel like a lot of people just don't see Nezuko as powerful as she really is. And I feel like if you want to be competitive in this game, you really need to use this character. We all know that Nezuko and Zenitsu is the best slayer team in the game. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know that by now, and if you don't, then you need to get on board, because what those two characters do is just something completely different in what other characters can't accomplish in terms of matchups. Nezuko, there's a lot of times, even in recent tournaments, when I'm using Akaza because he is meta and I'm really good with him, I just switch to Nezuko Zenitsu if my Akaza can't get the job done. Now, that's not always going to be the case because it's Akaza. Akaza will always be number one, but the next best thing in the game I feel like is Nezuko and Zenitsu, and I feel like a lot of people don't really realize that. But like I said, I don't want to try to say just use Nezuko. I'm just saying if you guys want to be competitive in this game, even though it's kind of a bit late and the game's not really that alive as it used to be, I feel like Nezuko needs to be on your Slayer team. No matter who you use Giyu Nezuko, Zenitsu Nezuko, Tengen Nezuko, even the new characters with Nezuko is just something you really need to look into. Like, I'm just trying to fully put out there when you're going against a really good Nezuko, the positions that she puts you in is just very scary, thinking that she can unsub you at any moment, especially demon characters who take 1.15 damage multiplier and above. It's just really scary to be in that situation, especially as like people call Nezuko the Akaza killer sometimes, because Akaza does take the most damage and Nezuko can just hit him with an unsub level 2 at like 80% and he would die from it. It's just the situations where other characters can't approach a demon, Nezuko can, due to her lunge, her damage, and other things she could do, like switch tech to another powerful character, and having her on the team. And obviously, let's not forget about her assist, which is also very powerful. She just has so much going for her, and like that's why I think she's truly the second best character in the game. Obviously, it took some more convincing and seeing more players play, because I used her a lot all the time. People knew my main team was Giyu Nezuko, but obviously, you know, Giyu wasn't really helping, so I would have to switch to learn Akaza. But now I can use Nezuko and Zen as well if I wanted to and get the job done. So like I said, I'm not really saying nerf Nezuko or anything like that. If anything, I want other characters buff, like buff Giyu, you know what I mean? But I just wish that people would open their eyes to Nezuko and see that she's a very powerful, useful character. Now, it's going to be more annoying for me seeing you guys use her because I can't stand fighting her. She's probably the most annoying character to go against no matter who I use, because of the priority she has and what she's able to do in neutral. But yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say. I don't know if I'm really missing anything. Hopefully I got my point across and said everything I needed to say. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in another video.
Not so long ago, there ain't nothing left, and your feelings now seeming so upset. Looking back now, wish we never met. In the mirror now, I keep myself in check, cause every time that I guess, living with the pain always stabbing my chest.